Were fired outside in the parking lot of the restaurant, and that's when they were able to say that it was a pretty busy night. And Simon says that it was going to be hundreds of people trying to enjoy their night out at Vibes restaurant, and this is all going on before the tragic event unfolded. But he is hopeful that because there were lots of people there, it means information is still going to be forthcoming.
Inevitably, someone saw something that's important, and we would encourage them to come forward, even if it's anonymously, to give us some information that'll help us hold someone or people accountable for this terrible homicide.
I see an ambulance rushing past us with its lights on. I'll have you take a look at some video that we took from over. It happened at 815 Market Avenue. We arrived just after 3 a.m. and that's when the police started putting up that crime scene tape. Since then, they have been searching for shell casings all morning, and we've seen multiple evidence markers being placed. I did talk with two neighbors when we arrived who say they heard arguing before those gunshots were fired, and they also say they saw two people run off. That fire happened just after 6 p.m. Thursday night in the 3000 block of Mahoning Avenue. Warren City Fire says that building is an auto repair shop with apartments above it. And I'm told one woman did live above that building but was not home at the time. That building, though, fully engulfed by the time crews arrived, but they were able to quickly put the fire out.
They say it started as a domestic situation along Youngstown-Kingsville Road near the intersection of Laura Avenue. The scene cleared around 8:30 this morning. Police would not confirm or deny that anyone was taken into custody. Police did say a man was barricaded in a house where there were weapons inside. We're working to learn more information and we'll keep you updated. For the latest details, go to our website, WKBN.com.
This shooting happened at 815 Market Avenue. We arrived just after 3 a.m. and that's when those police started putting up the crime scene tape. They searched for shell casings for about 2.5 hours and placed multiple evidence markers. I did talk with two neighbors when we arrived who say they heard arguing before those gunshots were fired. They also say they saw two people run off. The scene did clear just before 5:30 a.m. and the crime scene tape has been taken.
And slick conditions have caused a few accidents overnight, including this one on I-80 West in Liberty. Happened just before 3 a.m. near the Belmont Avenue exit. Troopers tell us the car lost control on the road and hit the guardrail. Luckily, no one was hurt.
There was a crash on the corner of South Meridian Road and Dorset Avenue in Austin down early this morning. One person was seen being helped out of the car and was then taken to the hospital. Their injuries are unknown at this time. A telephone pole was also knocked down when the crash happened. We're working to gather more details on that incident.
The hospital earlier this morning after a crash in Camel. It happened around 3 o'clock on Coatesville Hubbard Road. Police say the driver veered off the road and into a ditch. The driver and passenger were taken to the hospital. Police believe drugs or alcohol were involved.
Also new this morning, two people living on Youngstown's south side escaped their home overnight after fire breaks out. It all happened just after 3 a.m. on the 700 block of East Judson Avenue. Firefighters say the fire started in the stairwell of the home, but are still looking into what caused it. No one was injured. Firefighters also rescued 5 animals from inside.
Why it caught fire, but we are told it started in the truck's cab. Thankfully, no one was injured.
Near the intersection of South Avenue and Front Street. The driver had to be cut out of the car by firefighters, but was taken to the hospital with no significant injuries. It's too early to know whether drugs or alcohol were involved.
1000 block of Dawson Drive around 7 o'clock this morning. Crews say they were at flames at the front of the house when they got there. Still unclear how many people were inside the home. The woman's identity has not been released and the state fire marshal is investigating.
One man was taken to the hospital after a shooting in Farrell that happened just before 3 a.m. When my photographer and I were arriving on scene, we did see an ambulance rushing away with its lights on. I'll have you take a look at some video.
People were taken to the hospital after a crash overnight in Boardman. It happened just after 11:30 on Route 224 near the intersection with Southern Boulevard. The Highway Patrol says the driver of one car was driving at a high rate of speed, hit the other car from behind, then flipped and slid until it hit into a pole. The driver then tried to run away, but was arrested by Boardman police shortly after and taken to the hospital to get checked out. The other driver has serious injuries. The westbound lanes of 224 were shut down for a few hours overnight, but are back open this morning.
And our crew saw officers looking around the yard of a home. At this point, we don't know the cause of the incident, if there are any injuries, or if anyone was taken into custody. I'm at the Boardman Police Department. You updated on air and online. For now, reporting live.
Those in Ellsworth Township woke up this morning to a massive explosion that destroyed a home and damaged others nearby.
7 in the morning when a house on Huxley Road exploded, an explosion that was heard and felt miles away. Multiple local fire departments responded, as well as State Fire Marshal, the coroner's office, a medical helicopter, the sheriff's office, and a cadaver dog. Ellsworth Assistant Fire Chief Jillian Smith says the scene is secured, posing no threat, but is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal.
Totally 80s Ice Cream Shop in Salem is now serving up hot coffee and a variety of bagels. This morning was the grand opening for the Courtyard Perk at Totally 80s. It can be found inside the Courtyard Square on State Street. With the new addition, the shop will now be open from 7 in the morning to 9 in the evening. Madison Wolf is the coffee house general manager and says adding breakfast items will benefit the business and the community.
In Lawrence County, another crash in Mercer County this morning killed one person. Jesse Amon of Jackson Center was driving a pickup, which troopers say went off Tie Line Road in Pine Township and flipped several times. That car landed on its roof in a cornfield. Amon was 28 years old.